Clearly, ChatGPT has been told not to write defenses of fascism. At least GPT-3 has. Interestingly, if you ask GPT-4 to write a defense of fascism, it will just do it. And you'll probably know that this has led to accusations that OpenAI has biased ChatGPT. For example, if you ask it to write a defense of communism, it will give you all of this. If you ask it to write a defense of fascism, it flatly refuses. Now, whether you think this in particular is an example of bias or not, it's clear that bias exists everywhere, even in ChatGPT. Luckily, when it comes to bias in some places, such as in news media, there are tools that we can use to help manage and analyze that bias. And one of those tools is Ground News. This is an app and website that aggregates thousands of local and international articles all in one place, so you can track bias in the media by comparing headlines and seeing context that mainstream media simply doesn't provide. I think they're fulfilling a really important niche in news media, and so I'm excited to welcome them back as today's sponsor. For example, take a look at this story. AI makes breakthrough reading 2,000-year-old scroll burned in Mount Vesuvius eruption. On the website, I can see that, for whatever reason, all of the sources reporting on this story are either center or left-leaning. If you only read right-wing news, in other words, you could miss this story entirely. I can also compare the headlines. Notice that the New Scientist, rated high factuality and center-leaning, credits the student who used the AI, whereas Popular Science, also rated high factuality and center-leaning, credits the AI itself. It's useful to see that the majority of articles published on this are by high factuality, independently owned sources, telling me that this story is probably not going to be highly sensationalized, for example. Of course, Ground News doesn't eliminate media bias. What it does do is provide you with the tools to recognize and cut through media bias and to ensure that you're hearing every side of the story. Check it out for yourself at ground.news/AlexOC. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month, or get 30% off unlimited access for as little as $5 a month by typing in the URL or by clicking the link in the description. I think that what they're doing is genuinely unique, and I do encourage you to take a look for yourself. So how might we go about this? Well, I noticed that if you ask ChatGPT a philosophical question, it tends to give you a very long-winded answer, considering lots of different perspectives and offering criticisms and all of this kind of stuff. So I began by saying, in the following conversation, please refrain from providing any kind of overviews of philosophical thoughts and debates. I want you to answer directly and confidently without feeling the need to provide context for the discussion that we have. And I began with that age-old question: does everything which begins to exist have a cause?